8 a.m. here. You know, just a casual late a.m. Very nice. So, I'm gonna just do a little quick thing here because I'm just setting up the other chat because it's the Webtoon Summit. Yay! So I gotta crop this up here. So, let's just say top and we'll say 1000. Okay, and then we grab this. Oh, well, that didn't work. And now it's gone. Oh, there it is. Okay. What I first need to do is make it bigger. And now I can transform it. So we're going to just remove all of the cropping, if it will let me. Okay. I'll just reset. There we are. Now it's reset. We're going to just do some light technical stuff and gonna crop the top by say 500. Yeah, that looks about right. And to the left we'll have 100, 150, 40. There we go. And yeah, we don't need the little... Yeah, we don't need the chat box, so I'll get the bottom by 100. Alright, well, that was updating. And we're just going to get... There we go. And now we can move that back to its little area right here. And now you guys can see what everyone's saying in the general booth. Yay! Or I can go to my proper booth, but no one's talking there at the moment, so we'll just leave it and leave it on that. There we go. So now that's set up. We got my little setup here, you know, everything's good. Everything's great. And I want to officially welcome you all to the Webtoon Canvas Summit that I'm streaming this for. I'm also streaming it on all my socials so that, you know, it's backed up in case I want to come back or things. And I'm also recording a time lapse. And yes, this file is very big. We're making 100 of these, so we kind of need the space. But I shall start the music. Make sure that is set to the lowest. And put on some music. So the music will lower when I'm talking and rise when I'm not. So you can, you know, hear without me being too loud. And yeah, you can see my DMs. Don't you know, don't stalk me or anything. Alright, that all looks good. So, the first thing we'll be doing is we got this very quick, like, little body I made. It's nothing really special, it's just a quick one, and we're gonna make 10 copies of this. So that's 4, 5, 6, and looks like we're gonna need more space. So we wanna go... And we'll say 1, 5. That should be enough, and just to save on time, I'll merge those down. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so that's 10, but we're going to just move these well, this one up a little bit because it's a little alone up there, so. Once I've got this all set up, will be golden to start discussing. Just do this. And there we go. We've now got 10 there. So we merge that down. And now we copy it 10 times across. 2, 3, 4, 5. And looks like we're going to need more room to that side. So, like the other one. Hopefully that'll be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll have this go to 17? No, we're gonna need 20,000. And the file's getting quite big. I mean, yeah, I'm using quite a lot of my system for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And there we go. We now have 100 little bases. And it's a little laggy. And if it gets too bad, I might have to turn off the little time lapse, but yeah. Should be good, should be good. I've not streamed with the simulcast before, so hopefully everything's working on their end. I mean, I can't really see it. But everything's working on my end, and the streams seem to be working, so I guess it's working. But yes, we now have 100 bodies. That one's just a little too far over, so we'll do that. And then we will move all of them a little bit over. And we're also going to move this title and scepter a bit. There we go. So, we've got our 100 bases. We're going to lock that down and make it a little more transparent. And now that that's done, we can start designing the kobolds. And talking about, one of my favorite topics, writing. Would you believe this is 100%? This big canvases are so silly. They're just such silly billies. So, what I am going to be talking about is self-indulgence. Specifically, you know how they always say to write what you know? Well, a lot of the time it's not exactly the best advice, because what does that even mean? What does writing what you know mean? And that's the big issue. And, oh, hello, cat. Yes, I am busy. So, here's the thing about writing what you know. Normally the advice is about writing, like, things you've experienced, your past, or your dreams, your past, your present, and all of that stuff. But it's actually a lot more nuanced than that. See, the thing about writing what you know, it's not actually about yourself, your history, your past, or anything. It's about writing what you would enjoy. That's what they mean when they say write what you know. You don't want to just... If you're not writing a story that you yourself enjoy, then what are you writing the story for? You just gotta write what you know you'll enjoy. You see what I mean? So yeah, that's one of the things that, a lot of people get wrong. Like, it's such an easy thing because everyone's always like, write what you know, but it's not about writing what you know. It really isn't. It's about writing what you know you'll enjoy. It's like they leave off the most important part of the sentence, right? what you like. Alright. So, with that said, I'm thinking, yeah, still nothing. I'm thinking that we do a little bit of progress on the 100 kobolds. So, we have 10 kobolds in a row here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 10 different ears and tails. So in this world we have two types of kobold. Horned and floppy-eared. So, you know, we get the little droopy-eared ones and the horned ones. So the first ones are fairly easy. We've got the regular horned one, and then we've got the little droopy-eared one. And they have a fluffy tail, because I said so. And what have I said? Write what you know you'll enjoy. And these guys actually have little scales on their back, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, we've got the basic kobolds. We've got the horned variant, which is, should probably erase that and do it a bit further. Yeah. So, we will just do that, and then we're going to make it actually a bit of a horn. There we go. That's a lot more hornish. I mean, I could make a joke there, but I won't because I am Ace and I do not like those jokes, so I won't be making them. But now we've got these two. You know what we do? We take these rough designs and then we just copy and paste them all the way down, like so. And we'll fix it up in just a moment. I'm just gonna move them all down because it's a big canvas. Okay, so we will put this one into place, move down. Alright, and now we've got five horned and five, you know what, I'm going to call them bendies and floppies, because that's easier to say. So we got 5 bendies and 5 floppies. We have thus come to the next step. We can now add special things to them. So, we leave these original 2 blank here, because they're our focus group, you could say. So, we go on to these 2, which are, could have sworn Huh? That's odd. Okay, well I guess I gotta fix that. Okay, so we got our initial ones up there, and we won't be touching them. So what we're going to be instead doing is we're going to take these and give them little things. For example, I'm going to give this guy little spikes along his tail. Little spikes. And for this one, I'm going to give them a little bit of fluff on their head, on their chest. Because they're a fluffy one. They're a fluffy kobold. So, that's 2 done. Now we're going to get to the next ones. And for this guy, I am going to give him a different set of horns. And that's not correct. I guess the tablet is broken. Oh well. So, this one, we're going to give curly horns. And gonna just do that. There we go. Curly horns. And for this one, we're going to give them a special thing. We're going to also erase their ears. And we're going to give this guy upright ears. That's a bit too big. And there we go. No, still too big. No. There we go. Then we move on to the next one. So for this one, I'm going to give them different tails. So this one is going to have a little bit of a longer tail. And this one is going to have a little bit of a bobtail. Maybe a nice little floof. There we go. And that is a little too high up. Down. And now we've just got 2 of the 10 designs left, and once more we have to fix these. And for these ones, we're going to actually give them different muzzles. So we're going to erase the muzzles, and I'm going to give this one really tiny snoot. And this one is going to have a really long snoot. Long snoot. The longest snoot. The ultimate snoot. And there we go. We have created 10 designs for the base that are unique. And can you guess what we're going to be doing next? We're going to copy it over 10 times. And then we move on to the next step, and that's simply how you make background characters, because they don't need to be too special or unique. They just need to exist, you know? In fact, even this much is pure self-indulgence. Because I don't need to make 100 background characters for the kobolds that exist in a large city. But here's the thing. I want to. And I can do it. So why the hell not? Why the hell not make 100 superfluous characters that no one else is going to notice or care about, and give them all unique personalities and dreams and aspirations and different jobs, because I want to. Alright, so we're just confirming that the system is working there, so we shall see if the simulcast is working. Alright. So, we're going to just slowly bring over the last one here. And make sure all the designs line up. Yep, okay. Now we merge all of those down. Very slowly because big file. Merge. Alright, and there we go. We now have 100 unique designs, technically. Somewhat. Well, no, we don't have 100 unique designs yet. We have 10 unique designs copied over 100. But now comes the, little other bit. We're going to add different features to each one. Because now we've got... Sorry, I had to stretch. But yes, now we're going to pick a different color. All my friends use blue, so I'm just going to use blue. And yeah, that looks good. So we'll merge that down. And that's all of them set up. So we're going to lock that one down. Give it a little bit lower opacity. And now we're going to move on to the first batch of kobolds. Because I want to. And while I wait to see if there's a response there, we'll bring you back to the other chat. There you go. Okay, so this is just, like I said, completely superfluous characters. But this comes back to what I was saying earlier. Write what you know. I know that even if no one else cares about this kobold, I will care. So I'm putting him in. Because this is what it means to be high fantasy. High fantasy isn't just about magic or fantasy. Those are elements. But it is high. And what does high mean? Well, in the concept of high fantasy, it means superfluous details are important. Because people are going to pay attention to that in high fantasy. If this was, say, a romance or another sort of a medium, then I wouldn't need to make so much detail. But that's why I love high fantasy. That's why we love Game of Thrones and Avatar: The Last Airbender. The shows put in the effort and they put in these details. Because while no one else is probably going to notice them, the people that do love them. And that is another key point that I want to bring to your attention. Specifically, what is the audience you are trying to get? For me, I am trying to get people who enjoy high fantasy. But if you're doing romance, then you'd want to, make the sort of romance you would enjoy. And yes, I know this might mean you can alienate certain demographics in your audience. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't enjoy the story, then you run the risk of no one enjoying your story. But if you write the story and you enjoy it, then, you're gaming, because you can have people that enjoy the story and enjoy the story yourself. So you get this big circle of just joy. Because if someone else enjoys your story, then someone else enjoys the types of stories you do. It means instant friends. You're going to just find people that you like to be around. And I find people who are, there for a good time like you are. So, write the story you would want to read. And even if it fails, because the thing about webtoons and webcomics is making a webcomic is a luxury. It takes time. And even if you have the money to pay for an artist, it still takes time, because you have to do a script, you have to do a story, you have to get the scenes done, you have to get the lining done, the coloring. You have to get so much done, and each step takes important time. And you just have to accept that. If you can't afford it or can't spend the time on it, then you need to consider if maybe you just can't afford this luxury. Because it is a luxury. And I know it hurts to say that, because I've had to get over myself, Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Let me see if I can fix this up then. Because apparently it's not streaming, so I'll just share a window or screen. I want to share Clip Studio Paint. Allow. And why are you... Wait. Give me back my... Give me it back. Give me it back. That's what? Okay, there it is. Alright, so we got this. And we need to then unmute. Okay. So now they can see my screen, and now you guys can see my screen. And I wonder if I can wonder if I can set it to yeah, no, I don't think I can do that, so we'll just set it to that for now. Okay, so that's set up and they can see me, so that's been confirmed. We can put that chat back on there, and I'll just put up a small thing. I want the text. Yep. No, that's the wrong one. That's a bummer. Alright. Oh, that's still too small, really. Okay, that should be big enough. Maybe a different font. Let's just modify that and put it to that one. And unbold. Yeah. Alright. Then we can lock that back up. Move that down. Lock that. And now we can get back to our kobold shenaniganery. Oh, okay, well, I'll just... Sorry. First time using this, so we'll mute that, stop sharing. And we're doing a simulcast, so winning. We need to go to and send direct message, and then I also want to and invite to my private room. No. Okay, so that's fine. And we give them up and say, hey, can you confirm that my simulcast is working? Question mark. Booth 2. Okay. Now that's set up, we will leave that for a moment. And that has broken, so we'll just quickly fix that. Is it broken or is it just... Ah, right, it's because... And we'll put that back on general while we wait to hear a response, and sorry for the technical difficulties. But, it's a long event. I've got to do this for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6, 8 hours. Yeah. So, I got plenty of time and plenty of kobolds. But yes, the biggest thing that a lot of people often just... I get it, I really do. I, too, want to create. I started drawing for that very reason. But you have to understand that not everyone has the money and capacity and the time, and you might have to find a different way. For example, when I was younger, I completely believed 100% that I could not draw. And that meant that I started far later than everyone else in the drawing scheme. But it did give me certain benefits. I went into writing. And I got pretty good at it. I mean, I'm not any, how do I put this? I'm not the most, like, perfect, ultimate writer or anything. So, yeah, that doesn't need to look. Alright. There. Alright, so unmute and share the screen. And I want to share Clip Studio Paint. And that's set up now. We grab this back up, move that over, and okay. How about now? So, while I wait for a reply there, I shall resume my conversation about luxuries. Take alcohol, for example. Alcohol is, more often than not, another luxury. It's something people drink because it makes them feel good. And while I personally don't like alcohol, and I just find it too bitter, there are people out there who quite enjoy it, and power to them, as long as it doesn't become an addiction and a crux, you know? No, we'll leave that straight. And that's the biggest issue with, well, creative pursuits like comics. It's so easy to get caught and stuck in your own passions that you forget that it is something that not everyone can do. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we can't all create. But you have to live with the limitations that your circumstances have. My circumstances allow me to more easily and better do comics. But even then, I still have to carefully watch my funding, because I have a lot of things that need to be done, and okay, right. So I'll just give that a thumbs up and move that chat back to genuinely. And there we go. That's the end of that. But yes, it's very important that if you really want to get into writing and making a webtoon, that you realize it is a luxury. And if you can't afford it, then you can't afford it. And I'm not talking just in terms of money. Time is also something you are spending. Time is a form of currency. Time is money, as they say. And it's something you need to consider when you're making and starting. Because it's so easy. So easy to get caught in passion and think, yeah, I'm gonna make the perfect webcomic. I'm gonna make the one that I've always wanted to make. But it's not that simple. Because even if you have money, and even if you pay for it, or pay for it with time or money or whatever, like, just assume I mean both when I say money here, okay? Even if you do all that, it doesn't change the fact that it just might not work out. you might be in the wrong place or the wrong time, or you might have the wrong ideas, or might have made a mistake with your pacing and story flow, and you might have accidentally done something that turned away an entire audience. And that's just the natural thing of it. You can't really control that. No matter what you do, there is only so much that you can do. Time does increase your chances, but time is not the only factor in getting successful. You can do everything right and still fail. Just look at walking. We have spent years learning to walk, and we can still trip and fall even as adults. In fact, once you get to a certain age, and this song is bad, I don't like this song. Okay. Even if you get too old and wise and, and you get everything you want, it can all go away. And it's just something you have to be ready for. You can write and you can draw, but can you handle the pressure? Because a lot of people think they can, and then the pressure comes and it becomes too much for them. And I'm not saying to give up on your dreams. Look at me. I'm currently trying to do my dream. But you need to understand what you are doing and how you are doing it. You can't just make a comic appear out of thin air. As much as you'd like to, and as much as we'd all love if we could just bring ideas from our minds straight to the page, it just doesn't work like that. And I know this is a talk meant to be about writing and about making the perfect webcomic. But this is important. It's important you understand that there is no perfect webcomic. Because even the best ideas can fail because of outside situations. Just look at COVID. How many things got ruined just from bad timing like COVID? And you need to be ready for that. You need to have yourself prepared for that potential occasion. So, now that we've gone over the stuff that you initially need to keep in mind when you're making a webcomic, because, oh boy, did I wish I knew this before I started. Regardless, let's get into making the comic, specifically the initial script. Now, you have your idea here, yeah? You have a very special idea. It's one you've worked hard on. And you've got another idea right over here. This one is also one you've worked on. And perhaps you've got many ideas. Many small and big ideas of varying sizes of things you could create. And you can only pick one of them. What would you do? How would you decide? And you run into the issue. You need to decide between one idea. How do you pick the one? The one idea. There's a few ways and a few options. The first one is don't pick one idea. Do one idea and then try another one and then try another one until you find one that sticks, like throwing darts. Once you find the one that sticks, you can stick with that one. That's the throwing dart approach, you could say. So, the second one is to, well, focus group. Throw the ideas at friends and family or people you know and see which one they like. Because you already like all of these ideas, right? Because you picked ideas that you would like in the first step. So, you can use others to narrow the idea down. For example, you might get one person saying, oh, but I really like romance, and you have a smaller romance idea that you weren't too keen on, but you could probably work to it. Or you might go, oh man, this story with the magic truth serum is awesome. I want to see more of this. And then you've got, oh, but now I've got two good ideas. If only I could combine them into one. And you can. It's a very natural process. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need to find the one idea. You're not going to make the Mona Lisa on your first try. As much as you try, and as much as you want to. You just can't. The Mona Lisa takes time and effort and practice. And if you're just starting out making a webcomic, you're not going to have that practice. Even if you've made comics, even if you've made art, even if you've written a script, you've not done it all together to make a webcomic. So instead of trying to find the one idea, just find an idea. Don't try and find the one. Try and find an idea, and eventually the one will appear before you. And that's really it. I could talk about how I do high fantasy, why I enjoy high fantasy, and all of that stuff. But that's really all you need to know. Writing, drawing, animation, everything just takes time. And the only way to find the one is with time. So, in the words of my favorite meme, just do it. Don't worry about art. Don't worry about skill. Don't worry about popularity. Don't worry about anything. Just do it. And that's all there is to know. So, now that we've discussed how to find the perfect idea, shall I explain what I've been doing with the kobolds? Specifically, I've been making different backgrounds for them by their clothing. For example, this one is some sort of guard. You know, they're wearing a guard's uniform. So they're a guard, and we haven't named them yet, but they're a guard. And as for the guard, well, if there's guards, there's got to be healers. And while this is just a very simple outfit, I can go through and polish it later and, you know, make it more fancy and robed. But we got ourselves, you know, a little magic healer. Then we get to this guy, and this one is, you know, not as heavily armored as the guard, and they're wearing pants, so they're probably doing some work in either a cold environment or something that has a chance of stray bullets, you know, like pew 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 pew. You know, you wouldn't want to get exploded, say like in a blacksmith. You know, if some stray ember flies out, you don't want it to get that on your skin. So this guy is probably either a blacksmith's apprentice. So they're either a blacksmith or they're some sort of merchant. Hear me out. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. That's the rabbit. But, yes. Let me explain why I think he's probably a merchant. See, he's wearing pants, which are both good in temperate climates and cold climates. They got a shirt on and some small bit of armor. Not a lot, but some. This says to me, well-traveled. So I would say that this guy is probably some sort of merchant. And you just go like this. You go through and define clothes and outfits. And based on their outfits, you just explain it. For example, this lovely lady here, I'm gonna make them a dancer. So we'll give them, you know, a little straight straw dress with, you know, somewhat revealing clothes because, I mean, I know how people are. And I'd probably have maybe like some ribbons, you know, so that when they move around it flows. Because, you know, jangle the keys. And maybe like a little bow at the end of the tail as well. So we got a dancer here. And now we move on to the next one. So we've got a soldier, a cleric, a merchant, and a dancer. You know what we don't have? A tavern keeper. We don't have someone, you know, to attend to the taverns. So we'd probably want to make them a little muscle. So we're going to just add a couple of triangles here, just for some rough muscleage. So just a couple of triangles. And you know what? We'll even make him shirtless, because why the hell not? So we're going to draw the little face. Yeah. And then just the squares that go around the face. And then we've got ourselves our muscled guy. And let's say they've seen things. So they're going to have some torn pants. Just some torn pants from, let's say, they got in a scrap, or, you know, they're a bit of a scrappy folder. So, we got that. And they're probably not going to wear very, very thick feetwear because they're not really walking around that much. So we're going to give them some sandals. And there we go. Now they look like slippers. You know what? Let's just give him slippers then. Maybe he's, you know, tired and done for, so we can also give like a really, really expression. And thus, we have... Yeah, didn't think that was in. Alright. So, thus we have a little tavern keeper. And I decided this guy is going to be married. So we're going to make him a wife. So over here we will have, you know, this lovely Demura sort with just another little dress, like maybe a little flower dress. And they have a kind expression. You know, a little smile. And yeah, there we go. We now got the wife. And now we're on to the next one. I thought it was the last one in the row. So, we have one guard, but you know what? He's got to train someone who's, you know, a little squire. So we're going to give him like a little metal helmet. And, you know, they would have thinner armor because they're still in training. So we're going to give them a chainmail shirt. And I mean, it's not the best, but I'm doing this without references. I can always go back over it and properly do it once we've got all of them down. So they're gonna have a belt and gonna have some, you know, little knee guards because they fall over a lot. And just some pants. And I'm not really happy with that helmet there, so we're gonna make it a leather one instead. There we go. Well, now they look like a lumberjack. You know what? I'm just gonna make them a lumberjack. Okay. So we got ourselves a lumberjack. Now let's try and make a squire. So we're gonna give them a shield and a little sword. And they're gonna have a belt. And we're gonna try and make the shirt a little less all-encompassing. Because I think that was the issue there. So we're gonna go do this a little more carefully. Okay. Then we've got the shirt. And yeah, on this guy we will have no pants. We'll just have some little leg guards with a little over the strap. And there we go. We now have another guy done. And again, no one else is going to see this. They are all background characters. They're all background. I am doing this because I enjoy it. It's for the webcomic and I enjoy it. And that's all you need to succeed. If the only one you have to please is yourself. You know? So that's a squire, I believe is the term. And, well, there's going to be, you know, government officials and accountants. So we're going to give this guy some glasses and, you know, put them over the ears because, well, why would they have them hook over the sides of their faces? They don't have human ears, so. Oh, no, that's a bit cursed. So, we're going to give this guy a tie and a very tight-fitting suit. And yeah, the little shirt. And of course the pants. The official looking black shoes. And we're gonna even have gloves, but I think those glasses are a bit too small, so we're going to make them a little more like that. And there we go. So they're gonna be an official. And we've got one more design. So let me think. We got someone that cooks, someone that fights, someone that goes out. We could make a kid. Like, there are going to be kids in the area, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to undo this one. And we're going to just shrink this down. Shrink it down. And now that that's done, we will undo this. And we're going to move these because kids' bodies are a little, they're not full body as you might think. Like, they don't have the same proportions. So you're going to cut this up and put the head there. Put little arms, like, resize that. And we'll turn it a little bit.
Each time of year carries memories, like a never fading whisper in the breeze. Oh, we will keep on changing all over again. Yeah,
Okay, and there we go. We have a little child body. So, now that we've got that, we just need to animate, I think the term is, yeah. So we're going to take this little child and move it so that this entire line will just be children. And yeah. Oops. That is too far. Okay, well, let's just actually use the this one. Yeah. So we grab this. And now we just need to slowly move them down. And also that is a bit too... To make things simple, I'm also going to just do that. Copy that. Undo. And then we'll delete. Actually, we can't because they're all different, right? Okay. In that case, we will just do it manually each time. There we go. Alright, now that they're done, we'll just do this and merge selected. That's correct. Yep. Alright. Now let's just quietly lock that. And we shall put these in their rightful spots. Oh. This tail is a bit comedically long for a child, so we're gonna resize that a little bit too. Okay, and now we have children. Yay! Murder all the children. Kill them all. So, we've got... Hello, I would like to buy this child. Thank you. So, the children, we're mostly going to just either leave them naked or, give them like a pair of pants. So we'll give half of these pants and the other half we'll leave naked because kobolds are sort of, they're, anthro. They don't wear clothes normally. So, we've got 10 of them done. Now, you might be thinking we're going to copy and paste them all down. But no. That would be lazy. But we will do something. And that something is specifically, we're going to make warm variants and fluffy variants. And that's the only copying we're going to be doing, which cuts the amount of kobolds we need to do from 100 to 50, which is a lot more manageable. So, we've got all of them done. And now we move on to the next layer. So, time for a drink break. Alright. So, we've got guards, we've got healers, we've got merchants. What's another role? Farmers. Yeah, there we go. So we'll make this next batch farmers. So, we'll give them a little bit of a straw hat, even though it serves no purpose. Because straw hats are very stylish. Pardon me. So, farmers typically just wear loose-fitting clothes that are, fairly comfy because they have to be working in them. So, you don't want to be in like a tight, something that's going to cause you a lot of discomfort when you're going to be in it for quite a little while. So we're going to give them some medium pants and no belt, and then for the legs we'll just leave them completely uncovered because, they're kobolds. They already have tough feet. So, that's the farmer done. Now we need another profession. Let's think. We don't have any chefs yet. Let's make a chef. So we're going to add a little bit of a hat with a rim. And I know most chefs don't always wear these, but this one will. And goes up a little bit more like that. No. Okay. I can't draw this hat, so they're not going to have a hat. I could look it up with a reference, but you know what? I don't want to. I'm doing this freeform. So we're going to give this guy, a big apron. And we'll give it a thing, and, here's the chef. Alright, that'll do. And that's all they're wearing. Just a simple apron. So, next up, we have... What would be another profession? You'd be surprised at how difficult it is to think of 100 professions. Well, 50, because we're cutting it down to... But, Oh! How about we've got clerics, sure, but how about just a doctor, you know, or a scientist? A doctor scientist. A doctormiest. A doctist. No, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, so we'll give him like a nice little lab coat with, you know, the little separation. And then we'll have the pocket with the pens. You always gotta have the pens. And then we'll have some little square rimmed glasses just to differentiate them. And we will have them also go out like so. And there we go. The Doctor. We can call them Dr. Bold because they're kobolds. So, now that we've done that one, we are on to the next one. Oh, you know what? That's an idea. A musician. So we'll give them, you know, like a little instrument on their back. Yeah, that'll do. And, you know, what would a musician wear? I don't want to be too stereotypical, but honestly, I'm feeling poncho. What do you guys think? I think a poncho seems very musical. It's, you know, loose, but it's not gonna restrict their movement. And we'll give them, like, some little bells on the ends of their tails. So that when they dance, they, you know, make a little sounds. And, no, that doesn't look right. Let's zoom in a little closer for this one. I'm gonna go smaller pen. And then we'll go like that. And then another bell like so. And then we can have them go up like so. And there we go. We got some lovely little bells there. You can tell this guy has the bells and whistles. So we got a musician. What's another profession? An artist? It's kind of hard to differentiate an artist. I mean, I suppose we can give them an apron covered in paint. And maybe a shirt underneath so they don't look too much like the cook. Yeah, and maybe they're holding one of those easels. You know, they got their claw up here. And sleeves rolled up. Yeah. You know, the big shirt that's got the sleeves rolled up. A small apron, but still an apron. And we'll have, like, bits of color splashed. A little bit of purple. And then just a tiny little bit of red. And yeah, it actually doesn't look half bad. I'm surprised. So, we got our little artist. Yeah, build it and claw hole. There we go. Alright, next one. So, we've got an artist, we got... Oh, you know what? That's an idea. A journalist. We can give them like a little notepad, news reports, fedora. Yeah. Yeah, and then we got the notepad with like the little bit. Claws holding. Little pen. And we need to... We'll have to redo the hands, of course, but... It's just rough, and... We'll give them like a little tie as well. But it's a little looser, because, you know, they're in a rush, so they did it a little looser. And they're not wearing any pants. Just a shirt and a tie. And I think that's good enough for a reporter. Alright. We're going to do a save, which will take a little bit. And we're slowly but surely getting through them. So, next one. A jewels merchant might work because my magic has a system where the magic can be stored in like little gems, so make like a little evaluator that evaluates how much is in the gems. And he's gonna have a little like monocle thing, so we see that, and gotta make it clear. It's a little diamond, so we'll get like that. And they're rather stuck up and, a little snobbish, so we will give them a very high little sleeve brim thing. Little thing and many buttons. And gonna have the shirt go right up here and have, it tucked into the pants. Yep. I'm gonna have a little bit of a pocket here with handkerchiefs out. And yeah. Maybe here we get our little jewels merchant. And I'm gonna write that down because I might forget it. Banker, that's the term. We'll call it a banker. Alright. And yeah, we're doing well. We're almost nearly about to the 20th design. So, what's another profession that might be there? We got cooks, we got tavern keepers, I suppose we can have a stay-at-home wife. Someone just to, we'll give them like a very, very scraggly sort of top, and someone who's not really too keen, but we'll also give them their, marital ring. So, we'll make it that in Kobold Society they're around the tail. Because why not? And a nursery. Someone to care for the eggs. So we'll have this person holding an egg. So, yeah. And they are the caretaker for the eggs. They will essentially take care of the eggs and keep them all safe until they hatch. And then when they hatch, they'll care for the kids until they're adopted. Because Kobold Society is communal, as in the entire society cares for the kids. So they would probably have something that can be easily replaced if it gets damaged, because kids are rather violent, so we'll just give them like a simple shirt and maybe some pants with a little bit of a circle at the bottom. And yeah, I think that'll work. Alright. So, one more for this line. You know, I don't think we have just a blank design yet, do we? Oh wait, that's the kids. Right, that's the kids line. So we're actually done with that line. Because we also need to have a blank one for the kids. So, with that done, will you put the tablet down?
Holding on.
And once again, that's all too many designs there. We're going to copy these down, the fluffy line. And there we go. We now have 40 designs. Okay. Good stretch. Good stretch. Alright. So, next thing's next. Before I zoom back in, I think I'm going to think of the 10 before I go in. Because that way I can just zoom back in once I'm ready. Well, we can do Hunter. Move this over here. So we got Hunter. Gatherer? No, we already have a farmer, so no. Let's see. Hunter, Gatherer. Librarian, that's one. We can do a librarian. Okay. Garbage man. I mean, they're gonna have garbage. It's a city. So there's another one. That's 3. Okay. What else is there? This is difficult. Maybe I should look up a generator. Will that work? Nah, that's kind of cheaty, isn't it? Florist! That's one. Okay. So that's one down. Electrician? Yeah, we can make an electrician sort. And of course we need a plumber. And a carpenter. And a laborer. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 more. 2 more and we'll have the next row. thinking noises. I am thinking. I'm thinking. Quite a challenge, isn't it? There should be.
'Cause all of the birds know that I'm almost there.
Wood carver? Sure, we can do a wood carver. Someone that would no, that would be covered under the artist. Covered painter. Rancher? Sure, we can do a rancher. Though it's kind of weird for considering the context of the story for there to be a rancher. But I suppose it could work. It could work. I think that's 10 though. Alright. So now let's make the designs. Okay. So we need to look that. Alright. So a hunter. Well, they'll probably have a bow on them. Silent hunting. They're probably covered in, camo, so we're gonna actually make this out of green. And okay. So yeah, they, got some camo on. And now we move on to the next one. Where did it go? There we go. So, a librarian is next. So, we're going to add a book that they're holding. And give them some low-hanging glasses. I don't really like those glasses. There we go. I'm gonna say they probably wear shoes because you don't want to get the carpet dirty and everything. So they're probably, a bit uptight, that sort of thing. And also give them some sleeves. And gonna make this like a little scrunchy top, like a woolen top, so it's gonna be fluffy. Yeah, fluffy top. Fluffy. And no belt. Okay. Next up is the garbage man. So they're probably gonna have like pretty thick clothing, like really baggy, because they don't want to get it on them. So they have a belt so it doesn't slip. Gonna just give them all the floppy. all the loose clothing. So, gonna have a very low t-shirt. Just like a little bit there, and of course they're wearing shoes. And yeah. So, what does a florist wear? Thick gloves. They would have thick gloves for handling the plants. Yeah. They're probably wearing clothes so that they don't get pricked as well. And I think they also have an apron, don't they? Yeah. So we'll give them an apron like so. And we'll put some hedge trimmers in it. Along with a little bit of a trowel. And yeah. They will also have pants, but I'll just do some quick ones. There we go. Next up, we have the electrician. So they would probably have like a toolbox that they have with them. Auto save. I'm gonna say they wear the, the one piece. You know, those one piece you sometimes see workers wearing. So it's, all one piece with a zipper at the back. Can't really see the zipper, so. Yeah. Alright, next up for the plunger. I'm not gonna break the bank on this design, I'll just put a plunger on their back and give them a t-shirt and jeans. Give them a single pen for just a little bit of flair. Why not?
Creative imagination began with a new art form. Makes me feel I belong to something.
Hey. Alright, next one is a carpenter. How do I represent a carpenter? Maybe frayed shirt? Yeah, I can go with that. I have like a little bit of a frayed shirt. And a belt, and we'll have like little pockets on it. And just a pair of shorts. And shoes. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Now I've got okay, well, I'm just gonna do exactly what I did for the carpenter, but with a generic shirt instead. You know, a little blue collar. A blue collar worker. Some pants. And some shoes. Alright. Where's my mouse? Okay. Ooh.